Hey everyone, so this is my testosterone video. This is actually the third time I've tried to make this. I just keep messing up. Saying too much, not saying enough. So things I wanted to talk about. I do want tea. I don't know when, but I know that I want it. I don't know the method I'd want. I'm afraid of needles. It hurts to use needles, and I don't like it at all. So that's a problem. I want, even though things have changed letter-wise, I don't want, I still want the letter. Even though people keep saying that you don't need it, I want it. There was a time where, for a little while, where I was living as female after living as a male since I was 15. I'm not going to get into the details, but I think that happened for a reason that I questioned myself. Maybe one day I can explain why I think this. But right now, even though I know why I think it happened for a reason, I can't explain it to everyone right now. But maybe one day I can in the future. I'm on the birth control Jolessa because I don't like man months, and I'm pretty sure you all can figure out what that stands for. It's not just, I want to be clear with a lot of things. A lot of things that make me dislike my body are not just about the fact that I'm trans, and I want you all to realize this, okay? Okay, so think about that. Okay, I'm not going to get into everything. Eventually I'll do like a about me video, but not right now. I've got an eating disorder, not diagnosed, and there's also other body image issues that don't have anything to do with the eating disorder nor being trans, which I don't want to discuss right now. But just bear in mind that a lot of what has to do with relating below the waist isn't just related to trans. And the majority of the time, it's not at all, okay? It's not just that, oh, I have this female thing between my legs that I'm not supposed to have. It's not just about that. It's about other things as well, and keep that in mind. So there's that. I plan on going to Planned Parenthood tomorrow. It's just right up the road. I need exercise, so I figured I'll do a walk-in. And if they are taking new patients, which I'm pretty sure that they are, then I'm gonna go. A friend told me that they're really nice, very respectful, and she likes going there. So I figured, since I've got a good review, then I am gonna go. At first I was hesitant. I'm like, I may go to Planned Parenthood. I may go see them. And then I made this huge status, and she messaged me and told me how wonderful they are. And I'm like, oh, okay, they're wonderful. She likes them, and she's trustworthy. I've known her since my sophomore year in high school. So I'm going to go tomorrow, fill out paperwork, if they want me to fill it out then, and then I can go in later on. I just need to explain that if they're going to do an exam on the inside, they need to give me either Valium or some other medication like that, or it's not going to work. And just having someone to hold my hand isn't enough to calm me down, so there's that. I get really bad cramps, and they're really horrible. I get really heavy man months and thick ones, whatever. When I was 12, I started when I was 12. But that summer, I had a 3-month one. 3 months. Not even kidding, okay? Okay? And the only reason it stopped on its own eventually, but that was because my grandma was like, oh, we're shocking the pool, just jump right in. And I guess it shocked my body. Like, not the shock from the pool, just the shock from having water, and not being, back then I wasn't taking baths anymore. I prefer baths, even though it's grosser, you know. I like the relaxation that baths give. Even though technically I'm really not supposed to have baths because I tend to get a lot of UTIs and I've gotten a couple yeast infections, so I'm not supposed to take baths. But that's okay. But anyway, so I wasn't taking baths then, just showers, so there was no water shock until I went into the pool. And then they just shocked it after so that it was not, you know, they cleaned out the entire pool after letting me go in. No one's allowed to go in their pool if they're on their thing. Even if you're wearing tampons, I don't think they allow it. I mean, tampons could fall out. Trust me, I know this. Not that I use them anymore. I've used them a couple times and they don't like my body. So, back to the bad cramps, and I get a bad pain in my... When I have cramps, it's always on the left side. Always. Like, constantly. And I get these really bad pains where, separate from regular cramps, I can get them anytime, whether I'm on my week 13 of Jolesset or not. And I have to curl up in a ball, push like I'm having a baby, like literally, like that. And it's very awkward. It's annoying. And I don't want to have to do that unless I'm having an actual baby come out of me. But there's nothing I can do about it. So I had one external ultrasound, you know, like one of those jelly things. I've actually had two, but one was for different pains. It was for, they were checking gallstones or whatever the fuck it is. This time they were checking for cysts on my ovaries, and they didn't find anything. And instead of saying, oh, okay, you should come back in a month and we should check again, they're like, oh, we didn't find anything, you're good to go. Okay? And the only reason I bring that part up is a friend told me, and a really good friend, told me that they can't, one ultrasound isn't going to find shit. You need more than one at different intervals of different times. So maybe having one when you're actually on your man month. And I'm going to call it a man month even though some girls that have them are, what do I call it? Don't call them that. I'm just going to call it man month because that's what I call it. Whatever. And I'm realize that I'm all over the place, but bear with me. I only get like 6 hours of sleep, okay? So you're supposed to like do it like every so often, different intervals, like on the man month, off the man month, in between being off of it and going on it, you know, stuff like that. She was not helpful. The day I went into this guy now, it was supposed to be a talk, discussing my pains, discussing all this, and then to come back in and have an exam and have Valium or some other kind of medication. No, she wouldn't do that. She's like, oh, no, you gotta do that. It's a gyno appointment. What do you expect? I was like, okay, you're really saying this to me? And the fact that I had put trans on the paperwork, and when I brought up Lupron, she's like, I don't feel okay with giving a young lady that. And then instead of arguing, I was like, I'm done. And she had the audacity to ask afterwards if there has been any sexual assault type things. She waited until after to ask me. How dumb can you be? You're supposed to ask beforehand. And I'm not going to get into that right now and discuss that part of my life because that's not what this is about. I already said earlier I'm not going to discuss it. But it was really horrible that she had to wait until after the fact. Oh, hey, let's just, give you a very traumatic experience and then ask you. Thanks, bitch. Yeah, I just called her a bitch and I don't care. By the way, for anyone watching this, I'm not sexist. I call men, whether they're biological men, FTMs, men, whatever. I call anyone a bitch. I don't care who you are. Unless you're a kid. I don't call kid bitches. unless you're 15, 16, and you know what you're doing.